Welcome students. This session is for BA second year English Literature paper 2nd, that is prose and fiction. You have in your course this essay in praise of ignorance by Hilaire Belloc. In my previous sessions I have completed some paragraphs from this essay, and in this session we'll continue with this essay in praise of ignorance. In the previous sessions we know that Belloc uh, talks about human ignorance, which is huge, which is oceanic in comparison to the amount of knowledge that anyone has. He gives examples from various uh, areas, whether it's history or politics or philosophy and geography, that somewhere give us a hint that there are so many things in the world of which we know or we are familiar with just the name, and beyond that name we hardly know anything about those things. And even to know about how much, yeah, how many things that we do not know, we require some sort of a knowledge to make a list of those things that we do not know anything about. He talks about the examination pattern, and he also talks about the people who go to the examination quite confident and courageous from the standpoint of ignorance, and they come back writing in their examination papers none, no, and nothing, and the others get jealous. So he says that examinations are the time when a person gets to face one's ignorance quite clearly, because it's that time when one looks at the question paper, one comes to know that there are so many things in that question paper one has no clue about. So in now we continue with this text of this essay. He says that as is my most unfortunate foible in the discussion of any matter truly profound, I have allowed preliminaries to take up nearly all my space. So he says that I usually make this mistake that whenever I'm talking about anything which is very important, basically I waste a lot of time in just talking about the preliminaries, the introduction, and I have not yet approached that chief spiritual attribute of ignorance. He says, I want to talk about the special attribute, the quality of ignorance, which is its power to flood the mind with happiness. He says that the important thing which I want to talk about ignorance is that ignorance has this power to make one happy. So somewhere he states that ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is a very draught of beatitude. He says that ignorance brings bliss. Ignorance is the source of giving happiness. All the misery and marvel of the wide campaign seen from a height at evening depends on our ignorance of the nasty people by which it is inhabited, their torturous and sordid ways. So he gives example that how ignorance is a source of happiness. He says that, for example, take a wild campaign. If you look at some campaign going on from a distance, from a height, and we enjoy that campaign, we enjoy the people going with banners and slogans. All this we are able to enjoy, and we are able to feel happiness because we are ignorant that in this campaign there are so many nasty people involved, and they're torturous and their bad ways. All our loves, all our hero worships, all our dreams of coming peace, all our visions of fortune are the fruit of ignorance. And he gives the basic knowledge about human life. He says that we love people because we are ignorant about so many things. All our hero worships, we have a huge, we are fan of some heroes, all because is that we are going by face value. We do not know what their real life is, and this ignorance makes us do that hero worship. And the life of coming peace, and our visions of fortune, that one day we will be fortunate, all these things, the way the life goes on, it's all because we are ignorant about what is going to happen next. So somewhere we feel that it's all because of this ignorance life is beautiful, it becomes a mystery, and it unfolds in front of us each and every day, and somewhere this ignorance helps us to live in a very positive manner and to dream for a better future. Then he gives an example. A man leaves a congenial company with whom he has held full communion. For example, you are among your friends, and any person, he leaves his friends with whom he was talking and he was discussing so many things. He goes off to take his train and thinks to have left behind him souls still vibrating in harmony with his own. So, any person, when he gets up from some company of his friends, because he has to leave early, he has to catch some train, and when he is traveling, he thinks that he has left his friends, and in his absence, they might be remembering him. They recollect him with peaceful love, and he's ignorant about what is happening behind his back. So he thinks that when he's gone, his friends are going to think about him in a very peaceful and loving manner. If they return to his name, it is with murmurs of approbation. And if he will be mentioned in their company, people are going to approve of his presence. He rolls home satisfied. So with these thoughts in his mind, he reaches his home satisfied. But the root of his happiness lies deep in ignorance. This person is happy because he is ignorant. He does not know what exactly happened after he has left. He thinks very positively that people are going to remember him. They're going to mention him with a lot of love and peace and with quite an approbation. But he does not know that what exactly happened. For hardly had he shut the door behind him when one of them said, "Does he still drink?" And yet and another, "Yes." So the moment he leaves that company, people start talking about him in a very different way. They start intruding in his personal life, and this, if he would have listened with his own ears, would not have given him that feeling of satisfaction, and he would not feel happy. So he says that here ignorance is bliss because he does not know what happens after he has left. So this makes him happy and satisfied. Whereas the reality is that as soon as he leaves the company, people start talking about his personal life and asking questions like, "Does he still drink?" That means, is he still on alcohol? And the other says, "Yet, but he's got to that stage when he doesn't show it." He says he drinks so much that now it doesn't show up on him. And the third, that's the most dangerous time. And now you see that how people start gossiping once a person leaves the company. And if he really knew that this is the way people think about him, he wouldn't be so happy as because of his ignorance. Nay, to conclude upon a note of grandeur, it is by ignorance alone that we advance through the rough seas of our mortal life. And he says that life is so mysterious. It's mortal. We don't know what is going to happen next, whether we are going to live or we are not going to live. This rough sea of life one can cross is only because of ignorance. Because we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, we are able to live this life. So, this ignorance maintains that interest in life, in people. He says the metaphor is not original. I do not claim it so, I copy it from others. Again, in a very modest manner, he says that rough sea of life is not original metaphor by him. This comparison is not original by him. He says, I've just copied this metaphor from other people. Were not men ignorant of what lay before them, no one would face the adventure. He says all the adventures that people do, they take risks in their life because they don't know what is going to happen in future. Uh, if they knew that if they take any adventure, they are going to die, perhaps there won't be anything like adventure. I knew one man indeed who was quite offensively stupid, dressed in a sort of purple grey, and had himself so groomed and set up that he looked like the successful businessman of the advertisements, which indeed he was. Then he gives an example of a person who was well dressed in a purple grey, and he was very well groomed, and he looked like a successful businessman of advertisements, and indeed he was successful businessman. And he gives Belloc gives this example that a person does not know what is going to happen next in his life. So he says that this man told me during a public luncheon that he had found life increasingly pleasant and that in every fresh stage of it, he discovered a further satisfaction. The only thing that this businessman said was that was very pleasant for him, and he was quite satisfied with his own life. The moment he said that, it was all because he did not know what is going to happen to him the next day. Now, I am glad to say that within 24 hours, he was shot out of his motor car and broke upon the sacred flints of England that prominent jaw which he had so abominably abused. He says, a day before he spoke so highly about his life. He said that his life is all full of satisfaction and it's very pleasant. But the next day itself, an accident took place and his jaw was broken. Uh, Never more would he boast, or at least not without a horrid mumbling. He says, so this is the reason why anyone should not boast highly. One can, because one does not know what is going to happen next with him. And even if one speaks highly about something, there is always a horrid mumbling, like, God forbid, this thing should not happen to oneself. So these are the things that a person is happy or satisfied just because he's ignorant. He does not know what's going to happen next in his life or what is going to happen the next moment in his life. So this way, whatever we think or whatever we speak, it's all because of our ignorance of the future. So, this way, the writer concludes that in consideration of all this, I thank God for my own ignorance. So, he looks only at the positive side of ignorance. He says, I thank God for my own ignorance. Rather, we all thank God for our ignorance. And though it unfortunately less than that of most people, I flatter myself it will serve. He says that my ignorance is less than most of people. That means, writer say that he knows a lot of things, he knows about so many things, but he says that my ignorance is going to be very helpful in my own life. So in this way, for everyone of us, ignorance is going to serve well in our own life, and this is the way of thinking that ignorance is bliss. So this way, Bullock ends his essay. Let's sum up this whole essay of Belloc. He says that in the essay, he states by giving multiple examples that any human knowledge is very little in comparison to his vast ocean like ignorance. So, this is the first thing that he states. Examinations are the best time when one faces one's ignorance. He opines that beauty of events, intentions of our friends and relatives, the courage to face all difficulties and taking up adventures are all result of ignorance. So all these things, this whole life, our appreciation of things, our friends, our relatives, the way we somehow cross the difficulties of our life and taking up all adventures, these are all result of our ignorance. Had there been no ignorance, people wouldn't be so happy. Belloc focuses on advantages of ignorance and expresses his gratitude towards God for this gift of ignorance. He focuses on the advantage of ignorance because we know that even the title of this essay is in praise of ignorance. So he is talking about the advantages of ignorance, and he is thankful towards God for this gift of ignorance. And we as readers also feel that ignorance is bliss. And we also thank God that God has given us this gift of ignorance. Thank you.